would drink from the effluent cooling waters. Also, we have people that have cows, horses in our area, dogs, cats. We have all kinds of animal life that will be affected by this. As well as we have a community of people, we walk on Shannon Ridge. We walk all the way up, down, all the way to 181, we walk all the way back up the other way. We will walk through that creek, that low-lying water creek. So will our kids, they bicycle down that way, plenty. So you're subjecting them to be walking, playing, bicycling through disgusting treated groundwater, which you want to be pooling and swimming, you know, if it gets flooded. That's going to go into our properties when we have to drive through Shannon Ridge, which has already been mentioned, which goes into our properties. It's really a concern. The light pollution is also a concern off of 181. A lot of us enjoy, you know, not having to have to see big plants or facilities that are blocking out our light, or dark, I should say, the stars. Noise, smell. I mean, how noisy are these plants going to be? The facility might just be, you know, have a lot of noise pollution. That's a concern as well. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to call for the next group. This is the last 3 folks that signed up to provide comments. So if you've decided that you want to provide comments tonight and did not sign up to, please go see Jessica at the registration table. She'll pull your form and get you into the queue. But for now, our last group will be Mark Hurd, will be followed by Catherine Sigil, and then Chris and Angela Tagle. Mark Hurd.
Mark Hurd, H-U-R-D. I will say this. There's a saying that says, respect is gained on troubled ground, so I don't envy you guys sitting here today taking questions from the community. My question was already covered by the team members here, and I don't want to beat a dead horse with a stick with regard to the modeling and how you look at stuff. But my comment has to do with developing a common operating picture for TCEQ to look at these small developments and how they aggregate in a specific area of the county. I know that as they build this location and other locations are being built right now, our ground permeability is diminishing. When we get big rains and stuff like that, the water's going to pool, it's going to move in ways you can't even possibly imagine. And even though we know that Kaikash Creek is supposedly going to run all the way to the river if it's got the right amount of water and things stay the same, as we build up and we start to move dirt and move land, things happen. So it doesn't always work that way. And the concern I have, because I've been in the Army and in the desert, I've seen this happen 1,000 times, where our engineers say, hey, this is going to happen. And we blow up something, the big hole creates, and we don't have that access. I see the developments in the area causing that same problem because they're going to diminish the permeability of the soil and they're going to cause water to shift in the way. And based on what I've seen just living here, that water is going to pool. So I ask that you guys at TCEQ come up with some kind of way to develop a common operating picture, a COP, so that we, the citizens, and you can stay informed and look at how all of these are going to flow when it comes to the resources, when it comes to the water, when it comes to all of those things that are going to affect, like Wilson County, Comal County, and other counties. I think we can get to that. I know that we have the talent to get to that, and everything here by all the citizens, we absolutely have the citizen talent to get to that. But I'd like for you all to consider that as you go forward with this, and at least give us a fair assessment when it comes to what that really looks like in worst case conditions so that we can be prepared for it. Because I was here in 2007 when I bought my apartment complex, my duplex, and we had that horrible rain, and I remember watching the water approach up to my house and say, oh my God, I hope I don't get flooded. I don't have flood insurance. But what I didn't know is that the FEMA map showed that right about 15 feet away from my house is where it stops. So I trust the FEMA maps absolutely, and I would ask that you guys go back and look at your systems and develop some type of comp system to where we can look at that and do modeling. Thank you.
Thank you. Catherine Sigil.
Hi, Catherine Sigil. Thanks for pronouncing that correctly. So I'd like to formally request an updated topographic study to better reflect the potential movement of the effluent in this permit application. I and the citizens that have lived here for over 20, 30 years and more can attest that the water has never flowed through this dry creek. Though the sewage may be treated to minimum requirements, without movement or aeration, the discharge will be nothing more than a cesspool harboring bacteria and disease. We don't want to stop you from developing. We just want you to build respectfully and in keeping with the values of the citizens in Wilson County. Thank you.
Thank you. Catherine gave me too much credit pronouncing her last name. There was a pronunciation guide on the form, so I appreciate that. Chris and Angela Tagle.
Good evening. My name is Christopher Tagle, and both parties. I am a business owner, so I understand. You guys are in for profit and economic expansion, and I get that and I understand that. However, this development and discharge directly affects my wife and I. So we're less than 1,000 feet from that discharge area, and our home is less than 200 feet from the creek. So I know you kind of hinted and mentioned it's just water's going to flow, it's going to stay there, but that's not your house. That's going to be my house. So when I look at my backyard, I look at that creek. Now I'm going to be looking at pools of water. Now, I'm not an engineer, I'm not an educated man, but I do know that water and foundation equals bad. So it won't directly affect you guys, but that discharge water is going to directly affect our drink home. So I hope y'all reconsider this, and hopefully we can both come to terms and go forward.
Thank you. So Chris was the last person who signed up to speak tonight. At this time, is there anyone who has not yet had the opportunity to provide comments at tonight's meeting that would like to do so? Anyone who has not yet had the opportunity to provide comments that would like to do so?
I'd like to say something.
Did you fill out one of our registration
No,
forms?
it's a question of,
That's all. I'm just, so provide your name, and then when you're done, please go back to the registration table and fill out one of
all
our
right.
forms.
My name is Sandra Mossmeyer. I live in Shannon Ridge. I'm a retired equipment operator and double C wastewater and water license holder. I know effluent, I know how it works. My problem's not with that. My problem's with the sewer plant. I've operated them. I know the smells that come from them. I don't want to live by it. And I would love for you to at least consider making the lots bigger, doing private septics. And if you won't go that route, possibly run a pipeline. Like I said, I'm an equipment operator. I'll do my services for free. I'll dig that whole damn ditch.
All right. Thank you very much. Anyone else who has not yet had the opportunity to provide comments that would like to do so? Yes, Sandra, please see the registration. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the process moving forward after tonight. Once again, I'd like to thank Bob McVeigh and Veronica Ariaka for being with us tonight from Representative Ian's office. Thank you all for being here, asking questions, providing comments. So as Maricela mentioned at the start of the meeting, tonight is the end of the comment period. Staff will go back to the agency and review all the comments that have been provided, both in writing, the comments that are provided here tonight during the comment session. They'll start working on the response to comments document. Preparation of the response to comments could take several months. But that would be the next thing that you would see from us in the mail. If you're on the mailing list, a copy of the response to comments will be mailed to you. If you provide comments either in writing or here tonight, you'll be added to the mailing list automatically. If you're not sure whether you're on the mailing list and want to make sure, again, please see Jessica at the registration table, and we'll make sure that you're signed up for the mailing list. So the next thing you'll see from us is the response to comments. It'll have a cover letter attached to it explaining the decision of the executive director. It'll also establish the final 30-day period for folks to file requests for a hearing. The cover letter will explain how to do that, where to send them, what information to include, that sort of thing. So that's the next thing you should see from the agency. If you start to worry whether you missed it, feel free to give us a call and give you a status update. I will, after the meeting. Okay. So just want to go and wrap up. Thank you all again for being here tonight. Appreciate your questions, appreciate your comments. I hope that you have a good rest of your evening and a great rest of your week. We're going to close tonight's public meeting. We'll be here another 5-10 minutes as we pack up, clean up after ourselves. If you want to come up and ask us additional questions, feel free to do so. Otherwise, please have a good night.